Plato and the cave story about the people in the cave, and they were facing a wall, and on the wall the shadows were being cast from behind where there was a fire lit and people were walking, and they never saw the real people. They just saw these shadows on the wall. So they grew up all their life. Now, of course, it's a made up story, but there's a point. And so they associated language and objects to these shadows. So their reality, as far as they knew, were that these shadows on the wall was it. Well, then one day, one of these individuals was let loose to go back and see that there was a fire and there was, humanity and all kinds of artifacts, all this kind of stuff. And then he wanted to go back and tell the other 9 who were in the cave, who just believed this reality of shadows rather than the true reality, which is, hey, these objects are casting the shadows. The shadows are nothing. The objects is the substance. So the story ends like this. He goes back and he wants, hey, guys, guess what I found out? These shadows aren't this, they're this, they're this. And the whole story says if they could, they would kill him for changing their reality.
Where did you hear that? I've heard the story before.
Just an allegory.
It's an allegory. I think Plato.
Allegory of the Cave, if you want to search it on Google.
It's so reminiscent of what happens here, though.
Talking about Slick Willie?
No, I'm talking about everyone that I talk to who gets cognitive dissonance immediately because of the programming. And I just have to wonder why it didn't happen to me. When I first saw it, it was like, wow.
Were you a conspiracy theorist before this?
Not really, but I'm so open to things because my base that I run off is all truth is from God, and God is truth. So I'm after truth. I'm not worried about changing who I am or what I believe about God, because God's not going to lie to me. So truth leads to God. So I'm not afraid.
What theology do you subscribe to?
Well, I'm a Christian. I said on the first show I'm a Christian, but I'm on this station because it's secular, and I want to use the rules of logic and the law of non-contradiction to prove the flat Earth, because people do violate the law of non-contradiction all day long.
You can't prove the flat Earth, though. I mean, even the people of this channel, Quantum Eraser and Nathan Oakley, say that you can't prove the shape of the Earth, so you can't prove it.
I'm not trying to.
Not scientifically, no.
No, when I say prove, like Arvin, thank you. We know that there's a scientific method which is empirical. Okay, I'm not trying to do it that way because I can't manipulate the independent variable. I can't go into space and vary Mars, let's say, or a star or whatever. I can't do it to the Earth either, so I can't approach it that way. So I have to do it evidentiary. I have to do it through my senses, and then have to compile all the evidence of how water behaves on a flat surface versus on a ball. And so then all of this will point to a flat, stationary, motionless Earth. And then I go to the helium balloons. When they go up, the horizon rises to the middle of the camera, the eye level.
It doesn't, though. I mean, it really doesn't. We've been saying this for years.
Well, it does because I see it. So you have to tell me why it doesn't when I see it.
It doesn't, though. I mean, if you go on a plane and you take a theodolite app, it's clearly not rising to eye level.
No, I go on a plane and it rises to my eye level.
Do you take any instruments, or are you just using your eyes?
My eyes are my instruments.
Okay, well, that's your problem.
Oh, my eyes are my problem?
Yeah, using your eyes and thinking that they're the end-all, be-all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. So then this gyro that Bob used on Globebusters, it was the instrument that said the Earth was moving, right?
Bob didn't use the gyro. It was Seventh-day True Seeker. And the fiber optic gyro does prove not only a sphere, but also spin, yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
So we can't use the eyes to judge eye level now? That's what we're
doing. But it's much better to use instruments. Like
if I look out a plane window and I see the horizon and I can see with my eyes and it's level, that's not eye level? Like it's risen. Like it should drop away, Tim. I think you should know that by now, bro.
It does, though. I mean, even all my drone videos, you can see it drop away. So.
Show me the curve.
Hey, Tim.
Show me the curve. That's one of our
Hang on a second.
housekeeping questions.
Hang on.
But Tim,
Hang on,
the
Tim.
horizon
Yes, ma'am.
looks the same place when I'm at 10,000 feet as it does when I'm at 35,000 feet. Where is
I
the drop?
already told you guys, if you want to use your eyes, that's one thing. But if you want to use like a theodolite or something like that, that's another thing. I've already done theodolites and auto levels and all that stuff. So, I mean, whatever.
Hey, Tim, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Were you on a commercial plane?
Was I? I am a lot, yeah.
Okay, were you using all this on a commercial airline?
Yes.
Okay, is the plane you were on, do they have two window panes?
There's way more than 2 window planes in a plane. I don't know what you mean.
Window, like when you look through the window.
I think he means the glass, because there's usually double glass, or some of them triple glass, something.
Right. Did your planes have those on them?
No, it was one of those special planes that are very dangerous that don't have, safety measures.
Oh, I'm actually honestly asking you. You could be sarcastic if you want, but I'm honestly asking.
I think it's a rhetorical question because all commercial planes are going to do that, right?
Okay. When you were using your theodolite, did you account for the refractive index of those 2 window planes?
Did you guys count when you're looking with your eyes? Did you guys count with the refractive index? 2 people can play this game.
I've not made that claim. So that's somebody else's claim. I didn't. I'm asking you.
How about I don't even care about your refraction. I looked out the window. I saw the horizon. There it is, right in front of my face at eye level.
Right, but they got to
tell
you it's not there because they want to control the narrative with a theolite.
They can say whatever they want to say with their theodolite.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, nobody really cares that flat earthers believe the Earth is flat.
Apparently you do because you're here, buddy. Apparently you do.
No, I'm just here to talk to you guys and be a glober on the panel because there's never any globers here.
So why aren't you
welcome?
Why aren't you just somewhere else to talk to some other people? Why flat earthers?
It's Jose's panel.
Just talk to flat earthers, particularly flat earthers, not regular people.
I've been talking to you guys for a long time. I mean, I already know the game here. I understand that, no matter what I say, no matter what I show, you guys aren't going to change your mind, and nor should I change your mind. It doesn't matter if it makes you a better person, just like religion. Go ahead. It doesn't matter. I personally know it's never going to go anywhere because it's just not true.
Because you know truth.
Well, it's been 4.5 years, over 4.5 years, man. I mean, we have 50 different excuses now. It was 38 the other day. We have 50 now. And it's just like we say curve and you guys say a bunch of other stuff. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, we don't exclude
why do they have to be excuses?
We don't exclude optics.
Why do they have to be excuses? Why can't they just be reasons that things are disappearing in the atmosphere? I don't understand.
It could be reasons, but there's no way to quantify it.
The only reason you call it an excuse is because the only thing you want to hear is curvature.
No, it's because there's 50 of them now, dude. It's been
if I'm looking 10 miles away and there's fog in front of me, that's the reason that I can't see 10 miles away. It's not because of curvature. It's just fog.
Yeah,
it's very simple.
Sure.
Right. So why is it that has to be an excuse? Why can't it just be one of the things that happens in the atmosphere that obscures vision?
If it's a legitimate reason, just like you just said, fog, you can't see something because of fog, sure, I'll go with that. But when we have multiple excuses, then you can take any,
But see, you went right back to using excuses, though. Why? I don't understand.
Hold on a second, Chocolate. Where's fog in the curve calculator? Does fog ever get asserted as a reason why we can't see something? Or is it just Earth curve in the Earth curve calculator, Tim?
Earth curve calculator is strictly geometric unless you're looking at the atmospheric part of it as well.
Well, we're looking at it in a photograph. That would include atmospherics, would it not, Tim?
Absolutely.
So, I'll ask again, why isn't it in the calculator then?
Atmospherics are.
So, do you want to show me in the curve calculator where atmospherics are accounted for?
You've been talking about it for, a year and a half now, the 76R?
That's called terrestrial refraction. That's a number. That's not a weather condition.
And? It's in the calculator.
I'll say it again because you didn't hear me. That's not a weather condition.
If you start, Nathan, I'll just hit end. Okay?
Sorry, Tim,
Just
Tim,
talk to
is
me
this
like
where
a
you just
human
talk all
being, or
over
I'll
me
leave.
because I'm shitting on your argument, or are you going to let me
Okay,
repeat
later.
it? Oh, that's because I've taken a dump on his argument. The first hurdle he's failed. As soon as I pipe up,
Bravo.
Tim gets absolutely obliterated. So, atmospheric conditions are absolutely not accounted for in the begging the question proof of nothing perspective hijacking curve calculator. Only an arbitrary 7/6R. That's called terrestrial refraction. Nothing to do with atmospheric conditions. It's a number and a begging the question R value. Bye, Tim. Yeah, you got your ass handed to you pretty quick that time.
Alright, cool.
No atmospherics accounted for in their calculator. Just a number and a begging the question fallacy. 7/6 and the presumption of R. Not atmospheric conditions. No perspective either, Tim. We would have got to that if you hadn't run away so quickly, but clearly terrified of me.
Good day, boys. I'm glad he went away so I can join.
Hey, that was great, Nathan. You were so patient waiting for your band of merry men to take him down. And finally you came in and gave him the strike, the blow.
Yeah, these guys have only got one claim to make, Earth curve, and as soon as you get to the point that you point out, well, you've just conceded something else can obscure your view of something. Where is it in the calculator? It's not there. And there's a whole list, as Tim's pointed out. I've suggested Ranty and I put together a list of all the things ignored in the calculator when they assert only Earth curve obscures your view. Because that's the only thing that the calculator can ever assert. There's only one cause. So while Tim likes to give off a nice big list, what is it today? Circle of confusion, Rayleigh criterion, dirty air? Yeah, all of those things can cause things to be invisible, disappear, and they are all ignored. So we're going to start listing them off too, Tim. What else is it today that they're going to ignore and call Earth curvature? Yeah? You're going to call the diffraction limit curvature today, Tim? You're going to call the dirty air and fog curvature today, Tim? What else are you going to call Earth curvature? Is everything Earth curvature? Because it seems to me that fog is Earth curvature. The diffraction limit is Earth curvature. Perspective is Earth curvature. Everything that can cause things to disappear in the distance is Earth curve if you're a fundy who believes you live on a sphere because you've only got one thing to assert. Oh, that's disappeared because of Earth curve. There's only ever one cause.